Welcome, college baseball fans, to another episode of ACC Central. I am joined by one of the ACC's newest members, Cort MacDonald of the Stanford Cardinal. Cort, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Thanks, Monty. How's it going?
It's going well. Excited for Stanford baseball and Cal baseball to be joining the conference and getting a little bit of ACC After Dark this next season.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to be here. I'm excited.
So we'll go ahead and jump right into some things. We'll talk about your summer first. I apologize in advance. When I did the Stanford Players of the Summer, I did not actually look at the West Coast League until I got to doing the Big Ten and the Big 12 Players of the Summer, and I noticed that you had been playing in Walla Walla.
Yeah.
And you had a really good a summer out there. I imagine you had offers to play at other summer leagues. What made you decide on the West Coast League, staying out there on the West Coast?
Yeah, well, I had an okay year, and there was maybe some options of going to play in the Cape, but with how competitive it is, and like great players there, like I didn't know if I was completely ready to put my best foot forward, and I don't know if I was going to play every day there, because it's so competitive. And I knew that if I go to Walla Walla, I would have played every day, and gotten better, just had ABs. And so, I kind of wanted to do that and go play every day and learn how to treat my body the right way and kind of go through that. So.
Yeah, and I imagine one of the benefits of Summer League is playing every day and kind of getting used to what maybe a pro schedule might look like. And if you're not playing every day on the Cape, it kind of defeats that purpose, right?
Exactly. No, I wanted to go to the Cape, and there's obviously the Cape is beautiful and it would have been a great experience, but just having the opportunity to play every day, kind of simulate what a pro season would be like, it was just, it seemed like the best fit at the time.
Yeah. And you had a great summer, 303, 11 extra base hits. You walked more than you struck out, which is always a big plus, right?
Yeah. No, it was a good year. It was a good summer. I had a good time. Walla Walla was great. There's actually an incoming freshman on that team as well, JJ. So it was nice to be with him. But yeah, I had a great time.
So fall practice hasn't started yet. For those that are listening on the East Coast, Stanford's on the quarter system, so their classes don't even start till the 23rd. So by the time of this recording, Stanford has not started fall practice. Maybe by the time this is aired, you guys will have. But what are the vibes after last season ahead of fall practice? How are you feeling? I'm sure you've been talking to some of the other guys. How are you guys feeling? You excited?
Yeah, no, vibes are good. Obviously last year wasn't the best, but we ended on a positive note just with the Pac-12 tournament and, playing well against teams like Oregon State and Arizona State. But vibes are good. We're all ready to get back up on campus. It's tough just because every other school, it seems like, is already at school and practicing, and we're a lot later. So we're all just ready to get back, see each other, hang out, and get to work.
Yeah, you go on social media and you're seeing all the other ones just doing their videos and showing we're back, and it's like
exactly. Yeah, we got a little bit more time to wait.
But on the bright side, you're getting a little bit of a break after a long summer, so that's also the nice thing. So a lot of guys I know some guys have already talked to the interview we're dropping tomorrow with Macon Winslow. He was on the Cape. He had about 2.5 days of rest between the Cape and going back to campus. So there are some benefits.
It's a quick turnaround for some guys, for sure.
Yeah. So who are you most excited to see, in terms of maybe some new faces? I know there aren't too many new faces for you guys, but, you've got, some incoming freshmen. Obviously, there's a big name with the incoming freshmen, but are you any that you're in particular more excited about than others?
Yeah, obviously Rentaro, he was with us last spring, but didn't get to play. And so obviously big name, but just watching him work and his attitude with things and learning a new language and just being with us. I'm excited to see him play, man. He's a great guy and he works so hard, and, I think he's going to have a big year. And so I'm excited to see what he does, but him. And then I know an incoming freshman, Charlie Bates, is a pretty good player. And so, I haven't met him yet, but he seems like a great guy. And so excited to see what he can do for us too.
I actually did not know that Rentaro had spent time with you guys last spring. So that's got to be really helpful for him in terms of this season. We'll be able to just jump right in and settle in.
Yeah, no, I think it was good for him just to come and get started with classes and get used to, what it would be like to play. And, it was just fun to, for him to be there, just to be with us and kind of get used to going around, traveling, and obviously learning a new language and going through all of that.
Yeah, and the culture shock and everything. I'm sure I can't
Yeah.
imagine. So it's a good thing he kind of got that the initial shock out of the way a little bit ahead of actually being able to buckle down and work. So of the players you got, who do you think is going to have a breakout season in the spring? And this is without being able to have seen any of the
out of the incoming guys.
Yeah, out of the guys that are already there, maybe.
Okay. I think Joey Volchko. He had a great summer. Obviously, last year it didn't really click for him until the end. With that start against Oregon State in the tournament, I think he's going to have a great year. I think Brady Reynolds is going to have a great year. He had a good summer in the Northwoods, but with those guys, it's so hard to come into college baseball and perform right away. It's totally different than high school, and it's stressful on your body, and there's just so many different things going on. So it's just hard for it to click for guys. And so with a year under their belt, I think they're just going to lock in and kind of go nuts. And so I'm excited to see them. And, Brady's got it. I think he's going to have a crazy year. So I'm excited to see what he can do.
Yeah, and Brady was my Stanford player this summer. He had a great one. So that's not a bad pick. And then watching Joey on the Cape and a bit with Team USA, he's electric. And that pitching staff that you guys have, I think a lot of people will look at last season and not realize how good you guys are. Mm-hmm. And that pitching staff is special. I mean, Trevor Moore pitched on the Cape, had 10 outings, didn't give up a single run.
Yep.
So it's there's a lot to be excited about.
Absolutely. No, our pitching staff is real. And, we had a bunch of young guys and just getting innings under their belt, it's tough to come in and perform right away. But after that first year, and plus in the inter squads in the fall, some teams it's like, coming in the fall and lift heavy and just get better and play inter squads. No, our inter squads are real. You gotta walk up there and face guys like Matt, Scott, and Trevor, and it's different. So it's just all it does is make you better.
Yeah. So speaking a little bit about last year, how do you turn last year's struggles into lessons to prepare for this year?
Yeah. Well, obviously, there was struggle, but there's beauty in the struggle for us just because we felt that in the games that we lost, we were always in it. Like there weren't many blowouts. We felt like we were just, one big inning away from staying in it. And so when you look at the season as a whole, we felt like that was kind of the lessons we learned throughout the season is what we needed to go through to have the year we're going to have this year. And, just looking into it, it's tough to bounce back mentally with losing a lot and especially with the past that we've had 3 years in a row going to Omaha. You don't want to be that team that doesn't get to Omaha the next year. But with so many young guys and just guys that really haven't played a lot, it's hard to expect them just to perform right out of the gate, going into places like Corvallis and having 5,000-6,000 fans chirp at you and you've never experienced that before. It's hard, and it's difficult to perform. But, that first year, having that under the belt for guys like, Jimmy and Torin and just like, we're gonna piece it together, and I think we have the right guys, and just another fall of training, and I think we're gonna be good, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, they're Stanford's definitely one of my picks. I'm really excited to be able to actually watch you guys. We'll get into that a little bit when we talk about you joining the ACC.
Yeah.
But you can't keep going to Omaha forever. At some points, unfortunately, there's going to be a little bit of a slide, and you guys have got that out of the way. Now you can get back to the winning ways.
Yeah, absolutely. And, the culture at Stanford is just, I think it's one of a kind. Like, I think we have the best coaches in the country. And, the guys that we have, like, the culture is right, and it's tough. Like, losing, you could say that we didn't have the right culture, but we did. It was just kind of a building block. And we just had to take a step in the right direction and use the losses in the right way.
Yeah, a lot of young guys coming back, growing pains,
Yep.
And like you said, those struggles, adversity, creates excellence, and that could be the catalyst for this year for you guys to get back there.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I totally agree.
So you're a Texas kid.
Yep.
what I have a feeling I know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask what made you choose to go to Stanford?
Well, I love it here, and I thought about staying close to home, and I just thought that Stanford was the right fit with the coaches, and obviously the weather is it's second to none out there. It's just perfect all the time. But just with the academics and the institution itself, it just seemed like the perfect fit. And honestly, I just it felt right, and I think that was really all it took for me. And so I was just, once they reached out, I kind of was like, it feels right. And I wanted to go there ever since they reached out. And so
I had a feeling academics would be a big part of your answer, because I
yeah.
did see your top four from 2020 was, I think, Duke and Texas were in there.
Yep. Yeah.
And then I saw that your brother was going to Princeton, and I was like, well, I that family very clearly prioritizes academics, so I figured that would play a big factor.
Yeah, I think that it's important. Obviously, baseball is not going to last forever. I want to play for as long as I can, but you need to have a good backup plan, and I think education at Stanford is a good one. So, yeah,
and speaking of which, I mean, academically, the new conference really fits. Bringing in Cal and Stanford to the ACC, where some other really primo schools are, but geographically, it's a bit of an interesting situation. I'm not sure. We don't know quite the schedule yet. You might know more than me, but there's going to be a lot of travel to the East Coast involved, I would imagine.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it's going to be an adjustment for sure, but I'm excited. It's going to be fun to go to different places and play at different stadiums. So I'm looking forward to that, but the travel will definitely be tough. And that's just it's going to have to be something we get used to really quickly, because it's not, it's not changing, and, we can't make any excuses for ourselves because everybody has to do it.
Absolutely. And like I was saying, I'm really excited because you guys, for me on the East Coast, have been on behind a paywall that I can't get to. You can't even get Pac-12 Network where I'm at. So I'd be asked questions about you guys, and I'd have to be like, I think they're good. Like, this was 2 years ago. Somebody's asking me going into the NCAA tournament, what do you think of Stanford? I'm like, well, they seem to be pretty good from what I see from box scores, but I can't watch them. So I'm just excited about the possibility to see you guys, and especially in person, with what I think you guys are going to be able to do this year. You're going to sneak up on some people if they're not paying attention.
Yeah, no, for sure. We're coming,
Yeah. So, you're from the Dallas area, right?
Arlington, middle of Dallas and Fort Worth.
Yeah. But most of your family growing up, or friends and family, Texas fans, or?
Yeah, a little bit. Mostly Texas fans. That's kind of who you root for if you didn't go to Texas A&M. But we followed them. That was who I watched growing up. But I was never, I don't bleed orange, you could say.
Right. Well, you guys played Texas going in the Super Regionals 2 years ago, right? What was that like for you? But that would have been at Stanford. You guys hosted that, right?
Yeah, we did.
But what was that like for you? I mean, obviously you have no conflicting feelings, but that must have been really cool facing the team that you grew up kind of watching.
Yeah.
With a chance to go to Omaha on the line.
Yeah, no, it was fun, guy, and we had played Texas A&M before that, and
that's right.
So that was just it's fun playing schools that are close to home. I grew up watching Texas A&M, and so it's kind of a big realization, like, these are big programs, historically top 10 programs that you got to beat to get where you want to go. And so it was fun, and we came out on top, which was great. But yeah, the last couple of years we've played, I think we played Texas Tech before I got there and beat them, and then Texas State, and then beat Texas and Texas A&M. So we kind of have the Texas, I think we're 4-0 against Texas in the playoffs in the last couple of years. So it's nice I'm able to say that.
There you go. Whenever you're at home, you can just,
Yeah, exactly.
Got the bragging rights.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. What do you love so much? You talked about it briefly about the university, the weather and all that, and the coaches, but is there anything else that you also love about Stanford that you didn't get a chance to bring up, like the game day atmosphere maybe, or something like that?
Yeah, I think with Stanford, there's a ton of sports. First off, I don't know exactly how many, but more than you would get at a normal institution. But
If
I
the
think
if the
there's like
Olympics,
every.
if the Olympics showed us anything, it's that Stanford has a lot of good athletic programs.
Yeah, like rowing and synchronized swimming. I'm sorry, I didn't know that was like a college sport, but it's super interesting, super fun to watch. There's so many people there just with the whole athletic group that everyone's just working hard to be the best at what they do, right? And so when you're surrounded by people in your classes and like your friends that everyone's just trying to better themselves, it just creates a different culture, and I think that when that's the attitude of who you're hanging out with, you're going to get better regardless of what you're doing, right? So I think that Stanford just naturally is different based on the people that go there, and then the culture that they build, with the soccer teams. I think both soccer teams are top 5 in the country right now. And we have plenty of friends, that play for those teams. And so it's like when everyone's performing and working hard to be better, you're going to do it too. And I think that Stanford's just different in that way.
Yeah, the football team, they didn't get the win against TCU, but they look much improved from last year, which is always fun.
For sure. And they have a stepping stone with, having a new coach. It's hard to be good, but we're definitely moving in the right direction.
Absolutely, and it's very exciting to see. I know I'm going to miss the Pac-12 because I did like the Pac-12, but it's going to be interesting to see how it all unfolds in the new conference. Yeah. And I'm excited about it. And again, I've already told you selfishly why I'm excited about it. I'll be able to watch late night college baseball, presumably when teams come out to you guys in Cal. So. And I'm sure we'll still get some of the Pac-12 rivalries midweek or non-conference. So, but shifting a little bit, you wear number 22. Yep. Is there a significance to that number?
Yeah. So actually, I wore 11 growing up, but my dad wore 22. And so did my brother. So that's kind of a family number. And, when I had the opportunity to wear it and had to snag it, actually Eddie Park wore it before I did. And I watched him very closely. He's one of my best friends. And he just played the game the right way. So with, it being a family number and Eddie wearing it, I felt like I had to keep it going.
I love that. Is your brother still playing at Princeton?
No, he graduated now. He works for the Detroit Tigers.
Okay. Oh, all right. There you go. Gets to still work in baseball. That's
yeah. My dad's been in baseball for over 25 years. He's worked for the Mets, the Padres. So we're definitely a baseball family.
Baseball family. Love that. All right. We'll shift a little bit to some fun stuff here. We're going to have to it's going to be a little bit tricky because you haven't started as of this recording fall practice yet. But if you need to, we can go back to last year. But we'll do some superlatives. Who's the team class clown?
Team class clown. I go with Charlie Song. Dude's always got a smile on his face. He's always making jokes, and he's just kind of the life of the party. So we're gonna go with him.
I love that. Any chance he's making jokes in the behind the plate when he's in a game, or no?
Oh, for sure. You got to deal with facing tough guys, and you got him in his ear. It doesn't make it any easier.
I love that. Love hearing a catcher be a little fun. How about the glue guy? Who's going to be your main glue guy?
Jimmy Nadai. That guy, everyone loves him. He's just a great dude. And similar to Alberto Rios, who's the Pac-12 Player of the Year a couple of years ago, he's just the guy that keeps everyone together. A big culture guy and just a guy who leads without having to say much. Just watch him work and watch him do his thing. And he keeps the guys together. He's just, an overall awesome person. So he's going to be the guy this year.
Love that. All right. Who's your clubhouse leaders going into this year, you think?
Clubhouse leaders. I think Matt Scott for sure. He's a guy, leads by example for sure. Jimmy, and then I think probably Torin O'Haron. He's a great guy. He's going to lead. He comes with a lot of energy and he plays with fire. I think he's going to be a good leader for us this year.
Love that. All right, moving along. What's your dream job outside of baseball? It sounds like it's going to be in baseball, and so, hopefully you have a long career playing. But it sounds like, based on the family history, it's going to be within baseball in some capacity. But
Yeah, for sure. I don't know exactly what I want to do. I haven't put too much thought into it. You know, I do. I want to do
don't need
something in
to.
sports
Yeah.
for sure. I love watching sports. Love watching college football, baseball. Obviously, I played football and basketball in high school, and so I've kind of just done it all my whole life, and I can't really imagine a life without it. So I definitely am going to have to be involved with sports in some capacity.
Yeah, I saw something sickening on your on your bio for Stanford. They said you were a 5-sport athlete in high
Yep.
school.
Yeah. So
That's disgusting.
I love doing it all. I love doing it all. It's just every sport's different, and you have to have a different mentality with them all. And so, yeah, I wish I could still play them all.
Yeah, that's still. I mean, to do that into high school is insane. It was just for everyone listening. It's football, basketball, baseball, track, and then golf, right?
Yep.
So synchronized swimming?
No,
Can't do that?
not
No?
that. Didn't get in the water. Not a big swimmer.
All right. Let's say I'm coming out to Palo Alto. What's the go-to local food spot?
Oof. There's let's see. There's a good Mexican spot, Celia's. My friends and I go there a lot. It's great. There's a couple of them. I know that.
What's your go-to order at Celia's?
I get a steak quesadilla.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Big quesadilla guy. But yeah, no, that's a good spot. Definitely one of the better places in Palo Alto.
Yeah, I'm really I'm writing these down so that whenever I come out to places, it's not even for other people.
Let me know. We'll go hit Celia's together.
There we go. Toughest pitcher you faced in the Pac-12 last year?
I think it probably would have been Aiden May, the Friday guy for Oregon State. I think he just had it against us, and it seemed like he had it against almost everyone he pitched against. But he was, I think he was 93, 95, and he was mixing well with the slider and changeup. God, when you throw it where you want to, it's tough to hit, especially throwing that hard. So he was good. And then, God, I can't remember his name, the lefty from Arizona.
Oh, Mason. Is it Mason Nichols? No.
Their Friday guy was really good.
Yeah.
And left on left with a slider and a curveball. It was tough, but those guys were really good.
Yeah. Is there any pitcher that I don't want to say looking forward to facing because that's not the right word, but is there anyone that, excited, I guess, for to compete against, not necessarily face?
Yeah. Who's the ace for Florida State?
Jamie Arnold or Cam Leiter?
Yeah. I want to face him. That's going to be a tough one, but lefty sidearm guy throws hard. Put me in the box against him. I want to see.
There you go. That'll be fun. I mean, that's a lot of people's toughest answer right now coming back. Obviously, Chase Burns and Rhett Lauder from past years has been a quick answer on toughest pitcher they face. But what ACC ballpark do you think you're most looking forward to? Or you can even say city if you want to take it to that.
Probably Clemson. Watching them play in the playoffs last year, that place just looks electric. And obviously we haven't really gone much over to the East Coast, but God, that place looks fun to play at. I'm excited to go there. That's going to be a fun experience for sure.
Yeah, most of our answers have been Clemson or North Carolina, even from the guys within the conference. So you're on the right page.
Yeah.
So that's going to be pretty much it for us. We're looking forward to seeing you guys and getting you guys live and having you back again anytime on the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Do you have any final thoughts you want to share with everybody before we sign off?
Not much. Just we're excited to be here and we're ready. I think it's going to be a good year for us. So watch out for the Cardinal, man.
Oh yeah, I'm very excited to go Cardinal and go Stanford. And
yeah, thank you.
It's gonna be a fun West Coast remix in the ACC. So
absolutely.
for ACC Central. We'll be back in a couple of days with our next interview. But this is it for me and Cort MacDonald of Stanford. We'll see you another time.
Yeah.